This is my Phaez amplifier, handmade in Canada by this rather nice guy, Rany Fey. He makes amps by hand up there, and he calls them Phaez amps, kind of a play on his last name, I guess. This is a 30-watt head. It's essentially an AC30, although it's quite hot-rodded compared to a standard AC30. Lots more gain that you can get out of the amplifier, and kind of more of a mid-range dominant sound compared to an AC30, which is a little more full. This one has a bit more presence and just sits in the mix a little differently than an AC30 would. Really great for rock kind of tones that are meant to be kind of pushed forward. So the really cool thing about this amplifier is how inexpensive it is. It's only $635. I believe Randy charges on his website for this particular model, which he now calls the Proximo, about $750 or something like that. Still incredibly inexpensive. It's basically about the price of a factory line like Fender DeVille or something like that, maybe even cheaper now. And yet it's a point-to-point hand-wired amp that sounds amazing, especially compared to factory model amps these days. One of the ways he makes it so inexpensive is that he sends you only the chassis. You have to make your own head and that kind of thing, which actually I think is really fun. It's kind of cool to be able to make your own kind of thing, customize it, and Tolex it, and put your own handle on it and that kind of thing. So I had a really great time making my own head in my own cabinet, putting speakers in it. And of course, the plus side of that, aside from the fun, is that it's also quite a lot cheaper than buying them. And it's kind of fun to figure out. So it's a great process, and it saved me a lot of money. I would really recommend everyone buy a Phaez amp. You can't really spend less money and get more amp. It's just not possible. It sounds like a really expensive $3,000 boutique amp, but actual musicians can afford them. I kind of like that. I play essentially indie rock and some alt country kind of stuff, so that's why that intro was maybe a little different than the classic rock kind of standards that you tend to see on the internet. But I thought it would be kind of a nice mix-up, because that tends to be what I do. So I just kind of threw that together. All the guitar sounds on that little quick track, which were just essentially thrown together just to show off the amplifier, are just the amp, no effects or anything, and no EQ or anything like that. They're recorded through a my 212 cab that I made for this amplifier, one 12-inch greenback and one Alnico Weber speaker, not a blue like a Vox speaker that you'd expect, but actually a Fender style Alnico speaker. Gives me a lot of variation, and I put two SM57s, close mic and a little off center on each speaker. Unlike a lot of videos on YouTube and whatnot, I'm not going to record the thing with just the microphone from the camera. I don't know. Personally, I think that just makes most videos sound like crap, and it's hard to see what the actual amp sounds like, or the pedal, whatever it is you're demoing, and people tend to record really poor quality. It drives me crazy. So this is going to be actual mics recorded into some pretty basic stuff. Couple preamps, no EQ, no compression on, and straight into my M box, and then into Pro Tools. Again, no extra compression or effects or anything like that, just the amp. So I'm going to just walk through the various sounds that the amp can make when I play it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we've got the gain down low. I'm going to show you how this thing gets a kind of clean sound, kind of Fender-ish, kind of like a matchless. The cool thing is that it will break up if you lay into it a little bit. Nice range of tones already. And then we're just going to turn the gain up a little bit and see how that changes things. What about if we turn the gain up a little bit more? And how about some more gain? And what if we max it out? I do like how it's kind of fuzzy 70s tone, pushed hard. Not exactly Black Sabbath. Little pedals. It's not too hard. Okay, now I'm going to show you the setting I actually played on, which is the gain set about there, and my full drive 2 pedal engaged. Drive in the non-compressed mode. Now we'll add a little bit of reverb just to see what it sounds like.